Guess who's back? Back again. Guess who's back? 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 Corbin's back. Tell a friend. Share the video. Feel free to do that. Subscribe if you're new. Thank you very much for hitting 450 subscribers. That's unbelievable. And to compensate you and to say thank you very much, I went missing for a month. I'm not Jay Slater because I don't get given £30,000 when I go missing for a couple of weeks. But let me know your thoughts on Tyriek Wright signing. That is the point of the intro of Guess Who's Back. Tyriek's back. You don't care if I'm back or not. But and neither should you, because I don't either. But Tyriek Wright, the fifth summer signing of this summer. What are your thoughts on the summer window so far? Because I think it's been an absolute disgrace so far. I don't know, it's to be fair, I've enjoyed not doing any videos for a month because I've been a bit under the weather. I haven't been feeling too great, to be honest with you. I've had a bit of an illness, and we've all had this sort of I don't know what you can call it. I think a bit of a fever, the Euro fever. We've all had it during our lives, and I've had it. It's been chronic these last few weeks, and it's slowly coming to an end, unfortunately. But the video should be coming back because I've been on Euro leave. So I've been enjoying that, and I've been in a bit of a bubble because you go in a bubble of watching football and Euros, and that's basically what I've been in. Sort of the Southgate bubble, which isn't a particularly good bubble to be in, and that bubble is soon to burst, thank God. But so I've been in this bubble, and the Bradford City bubble sort of slowly gonna fade back in, and I don't want to dip into it. It's like in the summer when you leave your foot out of the bed. It's nice and refreshing, and I don't want to put my foot back into the bed because it's going to be too warm. And going into that Bradford City bubble, it's going to be too hot. It's going to be stressful, and it's going to be agitating. And I don't want to go back to August when the football season starts because I just know what's going to happen. And this transfer window so far, from what I've seen and from what I keep seeing from my Twitter timeline of what other clubs are doing in this division, I just think, bloody hell, this is going to be another season in League 2 of disappointment. But I've got over that now, and I've come to accept the fact that we aren't. I'm not expecting out, and I'm just going to take this season. I know we'll probably all say at some point, I'm going to take this season for what it is. I go to football to enjoy it, and that's what I'm going to try and do. And this signing, look, I'm going to talk through the positives. Let's go through the tick box meter. System is a 5. It's a 5 for me. Let me know yours as well, and let me know your thoughts, because I'm sure you disagree with me, and I'm sure it's divisive. Everyone's divisive on this Tyriek Wright signing announcement. I might read through the comments. It depends how long I rabble on for, as the usual. So 5 for system, 20 for contract because it's a 2-year deal. So there you go. So that's a tick. System, I suppose, is a cross. Ability is a straight line, 10, because we've seen two completely different Tyriek Wrights over his time at the football club so far. Experience 15. And injury record 5, because he has had a couple of injuries at Bradford City so far. I just thought I'll go. I'm not going back 2 years to when we first signed him the first time, and I hope you don't either, because I think I was on holiday, and it wasn't a good video. None of those were at the time. I don't think they still are. Just look at the camera quality. It's buzzing all over. But that is what I do. So I had him 26th in the player ranking for last season. He was below some absolutely terrible players. I think I had Ash Taylor higher than Tyriek Wright, which is it might say a lot about my football knowledge, and it might question why you actually listen to me, maybe. But that was just my opinion, and I did say in my second that I give myself on the player ranking top of the cops thing, it didn't put any effort in, or didn't put enough effort in. One of those two. And that is how I would say Tyriek Wright was. I saw a player who was walking around a lot of the time, had his head down a lot of the time, and he just looked like, I'm not saying he was, because I think it'd be wrong to say that, but he just looked to me like someone who couldn't care enough about being at the football club, backing our challenges, and but then I see the Tyriek Wright in the interviews, I see the Tyriek Wright when he speaks, I see the Tyriek Wright away from the football pitch, and he's sort of smiling, and he says it's his home, and he says he loves being here, and he feels comfortable here, and that's a big part in life. You've got to feel comfortable in whatever you're doing, and if he's comfortable at this football club, then that's brilliant. But he's got to start feeling comfortable on the pitch, and that's a positive, I feel, to the signing. But when we signed him the second time, I don't think he was confident. I don't think he was comfortable. I don't think he was feeling... You know, you talk about it all the time at the top level of the game, but it never really gets talked about the bottom levels of the game, where, you know, people might not be feeling themselves. They might not be feeling positive. And I got that feeling with Tyriek Wright. So hopefully, and I'm not speculating, I am. I just hope that he's feeling more himself, and hopefully he can get a bit of his confidence back, because it was clear to see on the football pitch at least anyway that he wasn't confident. He'd get the ball in attacking areas in the final third and he'd hesitate, he wouldn't take players on, he'd slow down our attacks, he wouldn't put a cross into the box, whether that were fear or a limitation or just a lack of confidence. And hopefully that's something that we can breed into him with the pre-season. When we go to Austria, hopefully that's something we can work on, getting him in the environment with the players and just trying to build him up a bit, because that's what we tried to do obviously last season, and it didn't work. We couldn't get him back to the sort of smiley face football on the football pitch that we saw, where he was expressive and he was taking players on, and he was that throwback winger that we like to see at Bradford City under Mark Hughes. But that's the thing with the system. I don't think he particularly suits Alexander's system, because we don't play with out-and-out wingers, or we haven't. Throughout his different formations that he's had, I think we played about 4 different formations under Alexander, and there was only one formation variation of his system that we played with, I'd say, out-and-out wingers, and that was sort of a 5-2-3 that we played only a couple of times. And even then, the wingers are quite narrow, and for me, Tyriek Wright, he's got to be out by the touchline, and I think that's why Alexander liked playing him as a wing back. And when he played as a wing back, we went 7 games unbeaten, I think 6 straight wins. So, and he played a part in that. But I won't particularly say he was key to it. I just thought he played a part to it, but he was the weak link, I felt, and I felt the key area for the last 8 years. The key area we need to recruit has been left back, been left wing back, and we never fail to do it. There's been so many players this summer, last summer, summer's gone by, where you look and you go, I would love him at Bradford City, love him. Honestly, I'd do all. I'd give the club a bit of money to pay for him. And then we go and buy these Liam Rydals, Tyriek Wright, who's a winger playing. You always say round pegs in square holes, or whatever the bloody saying is. I'm going to make a new one up. It's round knives. We have these bloody awful knives. We have a pair of knives that are normal, you know, your sort of straight knives. And then we have these stupid knives. I don't know if you have them. If you don't, you can't relate, but I hate them. And the sort of circular knives that go that way around. And they're awful. You can't use them right. They just feel awkward to use. So it's like having, and they don't butter your bread properly. They're completely useless, and they're not right. They should just be straight knives. But my mum likes them, so we have to keep them. But it's like using circular knives. It just doesn't work. It isn't right. It's awkward. And putting Tyriek Wright and left wing back, it just doesn't work as well as a Rio Adebisi would, a Nick Tarula was, Tom Pearce at Wigan, Ben Williams who was at Cheltenham. There's so many players out there, some better than others, definitely, can't argue with that, but they're all better than Tyriek Wright in my opinion. So that's a bit of negativity there. But like I say, he loves the club, and I think that's important that you do sign players who love the club. Graham Alexander clearly fancies him, not like that, as a footballer, and he obviously likes him as a player, because when he first came in, we all thought PR. This is classic sparks, bringing in a player. I think it would just after we lost to Salford or just before Salford, that Tuesday night where a lot sort of turned, and it was like, right, we're bringing in Tyriek Wright because of this negativity, and Alexander don't want him. Gent, it's lazy from Gent, and I still think it possibly could be lazy from Gent because we still haven't sorted that position out, and we won't sort this position out. I hope we do. I'm probably being a bit negative, but I hope I'll get behind him. We'll sing Ole Ole Tyriek right. I'll be there. I'll be singing it. MK Dons. I'll be singing it at Salford. I'll be singing it all season, and look, I hope he's the best left wing back I've ever seen at this football club, and I think he could be. There's 100% a player in there. You know, I've seen glimpses last season. I saw great runs under Mark Hughes, and that wasn't just his bowel movements. I'm on about Tyriek Wright having good run spells under Mark Hughes. I don't know why I need to clarify that, but I think that there could well be a player in there. But he's got to knuckle down and show that now. And can he do it? I think he probably could. But he's too inconsistent. He's a bit like... it's election day. He's a bit like... well, it won't be when you see it, 'cause I've been a bit lazy. But he's a bit like Keir Starmer's policies. He says one thing. A woman does not have... You know what? I don't know if I can say it on YouTube. But I sound like Keir Starmer now. A woman does not have what I have down below. And then the next day he'll say... Well, they might, and there's other policies, but I don't like politics, so I will steer away from that because I'm not called Gary. And if you know what that means, I'm not Gary Lineker, I'm not Gary Neville, I'm not into football and into politics, and I don't like to intertwine them because I feel like there should be a diversion from the real world. So yeah, that's what I think he's like anyway. With that, I can't read my own bleeding writing here. It's only little notes. So yeah, experience, going back to a tick box, he's played loads at this level and he knows the fans and he obviously knows the football club, so he's got experience at playing the Valley Parade ups and downs as well, which is very important. His injury record, he had a couple of injuries. So yeah, I think it's so what percentage have I even given him? I don't know. That's 25, that's 35, that's whatever that is, 50, bloody hell, I've given 55%. So he is the worst signing of the summer, in my opinion, which ain't good. It's not nice, but it's what I think. So yeah, I feel like there's other things I wanted to talk about, and I'm trying to skim through my notes, and I can't quite. I've covered that. No, I think I've said everything I want to say, to be honest with you. So yeah, it's been a pretty underwhelming summer window so far, and I think I'll probably do a full video on that in due course. Hopefully the videos will be back. But yeah, I just think when you look at the first time, it came in under a lot of no expectation. We thought Dion Pereira would be what Tyriek Wright went on to be. He went to Plymouth, it didn't work out, confidence not, came back the second time, loads of expectation, and he was poor. This time, there's not a lot of expectation. It's divided. Some fans are loving the signing of Tyriek Wright and they're getting behind it. Other fans are struggling to see that, maybe a bit like me. But one thing I can be assured about is that we will get behind him, we will support him, and hopefully he will be successful for us. But the fans will get behind him because that's what we always do. And there's been a couple of players this summer window that we're not too keen about, but you know that's faded and we will get behind them, and I can assure you of that. So let me know your thoughts on the signing of Tyriek Wright in the comments down below. Let me know your top 5 signings this summer. How would you rank them? Because I've been thinking about this. I think it's pretty hard to rank these players because they're up and down. You've got some who are, I think, could be potentially the best in the league, but then you've got others who are pretty mediocre and I'm not too excited about them. So we'll just have to see how it goes. But yeah, it's definitely a tough one because Tyriek Wright, he could go one way or the other. Let's hope he goes one way and that's up. The only way is up, and hopefully that's where Bradford City will be. So I'm rabbiting on. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Like the video if you did. Subscribe if you're new. On the road to 500 subscribers now. Thank you very much for all the support over the last few months, even though the last month I've been non-existent. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Have a good one.